Hello, everybody. What's up, guys? This is Gina Ifoe, the one and only African superstar, back at it again. Wow. Can we get some? There we go. Finally. Yes, it is the one and only African superstar back at it again. I am back in the African Superstar Studios here in Accra, Ghana. Yes, welcome home to me after 6 weeks on the road. 6 weeks in the UK, and it was definitely productive in many ways, very challenging in others. If you know, you know. If you're close to me, then you know some of the things that were going on in the UK. But we definitely achieved the goals regarding the tour. You know what I'm saying? Completed 4 shows. Definitely made some new acquaintances, got an opportunity to, perform the music, get the music out there, and that's what we were going to do. So big shout out to the African Superstar family. I have obviously heard from many of you guys regarding this Alabama brawl. So I did want to go ahead and share my perspective on it. Big shout outs to you guys. Hey, when you come here, please be on code. Be on code, be on code, be on code. Like the stream. Yes. And we're going to talk about this. First of all, big shout outs to the customers of the AfricanSuperstar.com. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys shopping with us for going on 4 good years here in a few months in November. And I'm very grateful for those of you guys that are continued customers. Much love to our members only who support the platform on a monthly basis. And last but not least, the African Superstar music lovers. Those of you guys that have supported our first award, we are currently the unofficial winner of the second award in South Africa. Still, the arrangements have not been made regarding that. So I've been a little mum on it until we figure out what's going on. I've been in contact with the organizers as far as the travel arrangements. So we're trying to get that sorted out. And once I have all those details, I will be coming to you guys with those details and everything. Let's go ahead and jump into the topic. First of all, who's in the room? Make sure you make your presence be known. Today, I want to talk about the Atlanta brawl. So for any of you guys that don't know, I will show a clip probably at like the 5-minute marker of the situation. So there was a situation that happened, I believe probably last weekend or within the course of the last week at the time of this episode. And generally, there was a man working at a riverfront area in Alabama. And he was trying to, instruct these white boaters to move their boat out of the way because they were obstructing other boaters. They were basically, docked at a place they were not supposed to be. And so when he approached them and he told them, what they needed to do, they got aggressive. It's in their nature. Ultimately got violent, started a fight, again, in their nature. And, basically, they begin to jump this man. And there were many people in the area, and many people began to intervene, especially Black men went to the aid of the man. And ultimately, the brawl just got really overblown. There was a lot of characters. There's been a lot of commentary, a lot of Instagram videos, a lot of memes and things like that. And I just kind of want to share my perspective on it. My perspective is very simple. My perspective is historical. My perspective is logical. And that is simply that unity is the only way for Black people. It has worked in the past in many facets. And it is the only thing that's going to get us on one accord. And, in the same respect, it looked like to me, and originally in a situation, people were not ready to intervene. There were a lot of people that were standing around. They were videoing the situation. They were shouting. They may have been instigating or, they were doing a lot of from the sidelines activity. And it wasn't until one man, went to his aid that the other men started to feel comfortable enough to go and approach the situation. When we look at ourselves as a community, even members of the diaspora, you know, at times we really feel splintered because it's like we have this one perspective and this outlook and things like that, and then other people have theirs, and we can't get on one accord. We've got to understand that we are all we got. You know, expecting people outside of our community, outside of our ethnicity, to be vested in solutions about how things will move forward for us is illogical and flat out stupid. You know, in everything that gets done, people are always looking for the incentive. They're always looking for what's in it for me. People outside of our community are greatly benefiting from the dysfunction in many ways of our community. They have no interest, okay, nor incentive to try to deal with some of the complexities of our community. It's got to be us, okay? There is nobody who's going to back up the Black man apart from other Black men and Black women. Those of you guys that choose to fraternize with non-Black people, you're going to find out one day, unfortunately, that they don't got your back. You know, that they're going to revert back into their original feelings, perspectives, and everything aligned with their people if it ever comes to a situation between us and them. Unity is the only answer. It has been the only answer. It's the one thing that we seem to, you know, try to circumvent. You know, we're willing to practice alternative lifestyles. We're willing to try to integrate. We're willing to, you know, delve into the church. We're willing to do many, many third-party things, except for the things that historically have elevated not just our community, but other communities. Because outside of the Black community, these other ethnicities, hands down, will choose their own people before choosing someone outside their community. There's not even a debate about it. Okay, first trivia question. If a Chinese man, for instance, is going to do a deal, going to shop, do anything, you know, pick employees for his company, and he has an option between you, me, anybody else, and or another Chinese, who would that Chinese man choose? First trivia question. Big shout outs, guys, if you're here. We got 13 of you. I only see a few in the chat room. Let's go ahead and get on code. Like the stream, support the stream, be a part of the conversation. Unity is the only way. First trivia question. And then I will be recapping the video. Sorry, I got a little away from time there. I'm going to show a little clip of the video for those of you guys that are unaware of what I'm referring to in the title. First trivia question. Can I get an answer, guys? Hello, Dr. Sherry. What's up? Big shout out to you. Thanks for stopping by. Yes. Good to see 2 out of 13 in the chat room. My goodness. The topic I'm talking about. And our people continually display. They're just not ready for the unity. They're not ready for cohesion. I don't know. They're not ready for the dream work, teamwork. But it's the only solution, guys. It's the only solution. We know it's the only solution. Okay. We talk about it a lot. Big shout outs. Thank you so much, Nori. Nori's the only person who understood the trivia question. Big shout outs to you. The trivia question was, if a Chinese man has an option between anybody else and another Chinese, he will undoubtedly go with a Chinese. He doesn't know if the Chinese is a good person. He doesn't know if the Chinese is, you know, Pan-African, whatever. He doesn't know anything about this person. But he's going to definitely choose a Chinese over anybody else. Our people, at times, there's a debate about who they would choose. And in this situation of the Alabama brawl, we see that these people didn't really make any excuses. They saw this Black man in trouble, and they went to respond to him. And the other question is, which I'll take the answers after the video. I'm getting ready to play a little clip of the video, not the full video, but a little clip. The other question that needs to be asked is, what would have happened to that black man had his peers not intervened? I think we all understand what potentially could have happened to that black man, because it has happened to many other black men in the past, when either nobody was around to help or people chose not to help. Big shout outs to the family. We got 14 of you guys. Make sure you like the stream. Get in the chat room. Be on code hello. If you're happy to see me, I'm back in the African Superstar Studios. You guys remember this? Hello. Remember this? This little baby. Yes, I won Female Vocalist of the Year. I gotta have a shameless plug. Yes, I am, an international award-winning musician. This is my award of the year so far, but we have, unofficially been the winner of another category in South Africa. That's still ongoing. Matter of fact, before we get into the video, just a message from our sponsors, okay? Guys, get on code. One and only. I'm back again. African Superstar on the track. It's the weekend, and ain't no place I'd rather be than here with you, and you here with me. Yeah. 3AB got the sauce, boy. It's a beach chill. You ain't gotta lie, come close and keep it real. Swear to God, already know how you feel. It's a beach chill. It's a beach chill. You ain't gotta lie, come close and keep it real. Swear to God, already know how you feel. It's a beach chill. Big shout outs. Yes, guys, that is your international award winning. That's my latest music video, Beach Chill. So please add it to your collection, add it to your streams. Do the necessary, because we're going forward regardless. All right, clip of the Alabama brawl for those of you guys that have not seen what happened. Have a look at this. Okay, so that was a bit of the clip. The situation continued. So basically, for those of you guys that may not be aware, the man in the white shirt, the security guard, was trying to inform those boaters that their boat was parked in the wrong spot, okay? And they began to get aggressive with him and obviously threw the first punch. Then they proceeded to jump him because he was greatly outnumbered at that period. And, they began to get into the fight. Obviously, the men around him began to intervene. We could see the guy with the shorts came. There was also a young man that swam across the river to get over and help him. And then several, it just turned into a brawl because, it was basically black on white. You know what I'm saying? There were old school people in it. There were ladies that were in it, and so on and so forth. And, when I talk about unity is the only way, I believe that our reluctance to defend ourselves in many cases, our reluctance to do the necessary, our reluctance to, be willing to be unapologetic has made these people very comfortable to lash out at us. In this scenario, these white folks were totally in the wrong. They were in the wrong and they had the audacity to, basically persist. And when the man was reinforcing that he was just doing his job and telling them to do what they should be doing, they then began to attack him. And God only knows if those men did not intervene, what would have happened to that man, or if there were nobody around to help him. You see, unity is the obvious answer. It is the necessary answer. It is the historic answer to solving these problems. How our people, think that we are going to improve our communities without practicing unity is crazy. And I think the voice from Continentals on this topic has been quite quiet. There's many reasons to that. And I think, I've been reading a lot of the comments under these videos because, like I said, this video is going viral. It's all over Instagram. It's all over Facebook that I can see. I'm not sure about TikTok, but it's virtually like every other post or every two posts on my Instagram right now is memes and commentaries and all kind of, reviews of this fight. And, the continental and African voice on this subject is very quiet. And that's not surprising, especially continental. Somebody made an important comment, which is continentals do not have, potentially the animosity towards these people that we do. Those of us that live in the diaspora, those of us that have grown in America more specifically, there's a serious animosity because of the way that we're treated and because of the history and because there's a lack of recourse. And in the same respect that this white man and his peers, blatantly in the wrong, could be so adamant to try to begin a fight when he was totally in the wrong, it speaks to the way that we are interacted with. To people that have never lived in America and never experienced it as a Black person, this is a wonderful illustration as to what we go through. We are in many cases minding our own business. In this case, this man is trying to do his job. In many cases, we are correct. We're professional. There's lots of videos on YouTube of white women that are called Karens, that usually interject themselves in situations that have nothing to do with them. Start either making allegations, pretending to cry, begin fights. They are almost always the aggressor in these situations. Yet we're the ones that get the rap for the violent behavior and being difficult and being insubordinate. And there's just a lot of electric, emotion. And I think that was displayed during the brawl because definitely so many other people, they didn't know this man. They didn't know the security man. All they knew was they were seeing that these white people were jumping on him. And, some people did hear the original conversation as to what was the source of this, which was him telling them what they were supposed to do, which he was correct. And they didn't, that's another thing. They can't really handle taking instruction from us. In their mind, we are inferior to them in all ways. And so it just makes for a very stifling environment, in my opinion, because the double standards are there. The double standards are systematic. So, people are going to take their word over yours. You know, we've seen countless times that allegations have been made against Black people by white people, and it's like the white person's word is solid. Nobody investigates the people. People just take their words and railroad. A lot of Black people have been locked up unjustly, and you know, all of these things that go on, all these politics that go on. But the reality is, guys, unless we begin to practice more unity, you know, not just in the case of a brawl, but in terms of, you know, making our families, in terms of business, in terms of the continent, in terms of supporting, you know, Black owned, operated businesses and things like this, you know, unless we do it, we'll never get ahead. You know, in this scenario, we had a scenario that obviously we saw, which was people intervened on the man's behalf. And naturally, you know, there's other views of the fight because the fight went on much more after the clip that I showed. But quite naturally, when the Black men started showing up and backing up the security guard, the white people started trying to retreat because that's what bullies do. And that's why turning the other cheek and letting people just, you know, mistreat you forever and just trying to pray it away and forgiving people who never ask for forgiveness, that's why it makes you the perpetual victim. Okay? Because they get so audacious that they don't fear you. They don't fear any recourse. This white man started this fight. Apparently, there were loads of Black people around the area at the time, as we saw many of them intervene. He was so confident in his wrong, and he was completely, you know, now had he knew in his mind, okay, if I jump on this Black man, I might have to deal with 50 Black men. That would have guided the way that he dealt with the situation. Absolutely. But see, in his mind, he thought, I can beat this man and get away with it. What's he going to do? He's outnumbered. You know, I can do whatever I want to do. How dare he tell me what to do? You know, his thoughts were probably a synopsis of those things for him to go ahead and begin the fight that he started. You see, we have gotten to the standard now where people don't fear mistreating us. They blatantly abuse the law. They blatantly stalk us. They blatantly target us. They blatantly lie and make our lives a living hell. And they don't fear no recourse. Okay? They don't fear no recourse from the law, from the jobs, from the community, from other Black people. And unity is the only way. Unity is the only way that we can begin to move forward in this. You know, I know for a fact there's people that watch my channel that would, you know, go and patronize people that would claim to be African Superstar music fans, viewers. Oh, I love the African Superstar. Oh, I love Gina. There would be people that would actually express that will not shop with me, not do any business with me, not listen to my music, not watch my videos, any of the things that would actually enrich me and the things that would help our platform grow and, you know, help us get more exposure. They wouldn't do any of that stuff, but yet they would claim to be a fan. And then they would go support things that are not conducive of the growth of our community. There are people that watch me right now that love, for instance, as they call Ratchet TV, Housewives, Big Brother, you know, Love and Hip Hop, whatever. Okay, they would spend loads, merch, you know, whatever they would spend, or just time, you know, watching these programs. And it's like, meanwhile, you know, and not just me, but plenty of our people with well wishes, because our people talk a lot about the problems. you know. And then some people do emerge with amazing ideas, and even fewer of those people actually make it to the implementation stage. And for the amount of people that we have as a part of our community, the way those people struggle is unreal. Those people struggle as they try to serve our community in different capacities. Those people suffer, but the sellouts, our people will go to the ends of the earth to continue to enrich the sellouts and completely neglect those with well wishes for our community. Logically, it just doesn't make any sense. And then after enriching all the negative things that are impacting our community, then go back and complain about those negative aspects. All right, let's get in the chat room. Big shout out to the family, guys. Make sure you like the stream. I'm coming through. I might recap the video. If you guys didn't see the recap, if you didn't see the actual brawl, let me see a number 2. If we get enough, I'll just go ahead and play it again so you guys can see. For those of you guys that don't know about this situation, but I mean, again, if you're on any amount of social media, you've got to have seen it by now. You got to have seen it. Big shout out to the family. We have 30 of you guys. Make sure you like the stream. Feel free to support the stream. Hello. Feel free as we talk about this topic today. Got 30 of you. If 30 of y'all did the 5 on it, hello. Hello. Big shout out. We got Watch Out in the building, and we have Dr. Sherry with us. We got Nori. Big shout out to Nori on that trivia question, which was, if a Chinese man had an option between you or any other person outside of his community and another Chinese, who would he choose? Without us even explicitly knowing Chinese and having interactions with them, we know that they would select their own, hands down, over us. Same reigns true with the whites. Same reigns true with the Middle Eastern people. Same reigns true with the Mexicans. We're the only people that struggle with this concept of choosing our own people first. Choosing our own people to be with, marry, do business, promote. We struggle with it. Well, Gina, in God's world, we always have the stupid ass replies. As we watch the other ethnicities pull together, band their resources, keep it in the family, keep it in the community, we watch these other ethnicities talk about these other ethnicities. Well, those Jews, they stick together, and those Latinos, they stick together, and Asians, but we can't get it down. We can't understand the concept. What are they going to do to us if we decide that we start rejecting what they're trying to impute in our mind? Huh? What are they going to do? What could they do? They are just the same way at that brawl. They are outnumbered by our people. And that is why there's such a concerted effort to discourage us from unity. But at the end of the day, we decide whether or not we're going to participate in unity. Not them. And realistically, with all the things facing our community, guys, we're not in a state to really be worried about integration. Okay? Some people just have this whole they got to be inclusive. That's part of their mindset. We're not in a position to be inclusive at this period because there's so much chaos at the roots of our community. We need to focus in on rebuilding families, on, business and enterprise in our homeland. That's got to be where the focal point is. It's always been the missing puzzle piece. Unity has always been the missing puzzle piece for our people. And as historically we go back and see where there were time periods where there was more cohesion in the community and things like that, we're able to get our objectives across. Yes. Yes. Big shout outs to the family. All right, I'm going through here. Who's in the building? What's up, LeJay? LeJay, 7. Big shout outs. Africano is in the building. MD is telling you guys to hit the likes. 27 of you. Make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you show some love in this chat room. Be a part of the conversation today. Unity is the only way. African Wahala says the Nigerian president needs to begin practicing self-love and stop selling Africans to the colonizers. Salute to that man who swam, there we go. Swam to the rescue. Yeah, big shout outs to everybody who got up in that. Everybody got up in that. Because you know what? Countless Black people have died at the hands of these violent folks. In some cases because no one intervened. Nobody was around to intervene. People were too scared. Like George Floyd. Y'all remember George Floyd? Huh? People literally stood by while that man was choked to death. They stood by recording the incident. They recorded the man's life being snuffed out. Now, I know that there were several police officers, but I guess I'm pretty sure that as that situation began to unfold, there were people around that could have rushed the police or something to stop what was happening. But they did nothing. And so George Floyd lost his life. That's how serious it is in some of these scenarios. You know, I know that you may be afraid in some cases to intervene because, you know, obviously you don't want to be hurt and you don't want to be killed. You don't want to be arrested and, you know, it's not your fight and you don't know this person. But in some situations, guys, you know, the pretenses that our people are facing all over the world, you know, it could be life or death. You got to make that call, but unity is the only way, you know, to protect our people. We don't have any allies. So if we ain't even willing to protect our own people, then we're on our own. And that's just what it is. You know, again, same scenario. I highly doubt that a Chinese man would stand by and watch another Chinese man be jumped or beat by a Black people or white people or anything without him getting involved. He would not sit there and let one of his countrymen take that. We've got to break this toxic, individualistic, you know, mindset of just leaving people to their own devices. Sometimes, you know, there's strength in numbers, and that's what it is. Big shout outs. What's up? What's up? What's up? I don't know what Mina's talking about. They're already raccooning the mayor, the fire chief. I guess that must mean that they are maybe trying to excuse the situation. I don't know. Black Messiah says the Karen is a white woman harassing a Black person. If and when the Black person responds, and kind Karens calls the police and the Black is punished. When Blacks are the majority, this should never happen. Yeah, but you know, we have allowed it to get to the point where this happens so frequently that they feel comfortable doing it. You know what I mean? They blatantly make false allegations. They blatantly try to provoke you. They blatantly, you know, create situations and all this stuff. And I mean, it's led to people, you know, their false allegations and stuff like that have led to people being killed, being falsely imprisoned, losing their livelihood. You know, a lot of Black men have been falsely accused of raping these white women, losing endorsement if they're sportsmen. You know, losing, you know, again, being punished, being killed. You know, people like Emmett Till, you know, it was said he whistled at a white woman and he was killed and tortured, you know, his body brutalized based off of this woman's allegations, you know, which are questionable allegations. We don't even know if they were true, or I believe they could even be false. It's highly likely, you know, so it's very serious, you know, but it's gotten to that degree. And I believe, you know, practicing unity would eliminate some of this stuff. You know, how could a white woman that when it's well known that black men, let's just say hypothetically, that it was well known that black men don't even deal with white women. They would never take them seriously, marry them, or have very, intimate relationships with them. If that was a well-known consensus, it would be much more difficult for these allegations to be getting made because they're flatly like false. Like, you're not even in the proximity of these people to be blamed. And I mean, yes, I know in some cases it still happens, even if you are completely not a part of or whatever, you can be framed or, identified as someone who fits the description. Yes, I know. But when you have a behavior of doing certain things, it's a lot easier for someone to associate that with you. Okay. So let's just say I'm a gangster. Okay. Let's just say I'm a gangster. Okay. I'm a gangster kingpin boss. All right. Let's say I've shot a couple people, stabbed some other ones. I've done some robberies. Okay. All the crime boss, organized crime kind of stuff. So let's just say one night I'm out on the corner with LaJJ. All right. LaJaya. Me and LaJaya is out kicking it in the corner. All right. Now on this particular night, I'm cool. I'm not into anything. Okay. Let's say down the street there's a shooting. They say, the African Superstar did it. Now I got a crime sheet wrapped as long as Santa Claus's, Christmas request. They can easily pin that on me because I live a lifestyle that makes it likely that I have committed this crime because it's in the style of what I do. So when, people, in some cases, when these allegations are being made, it's not far-fetched because of the life that people live. If a black man is accused of raping a white woman, and everybody knows that he is constantly dating, marrying, and involving himself in white women, the likelihood of that allegation actually getting some wind is very strong. Very strong, because he has a long track record of that people can easily see and say, oh yeah, those are his type. And then we can see them how they band together and lie as well. Big shout out to family. Thank you so much, Black Messiah. You're the only one. You're the only one. On your own. On your own. Thank you so much. So you gotta walk it like how you talk it out here, and people set themselves up. There's a thing at being at the wrong place at the wrong time, but sometimes the life that you live, it makes it so much easier to railroad this stuff on you. Practicing unity can eliminate a lot of that. You know what I mean? Because I can tell you right now, it's impossible. It's damn near impossible for a white person to make certain allegations about me because I have no dealings with them at all. They don't be in my house. They don't be in my bed. They don't know my business. You feel me? I don't chill with them. I don't even go where they be at. Okay? So if they want to make an allegation about somebody who done did something, they picking me going to be far-fetched because I'm not even around them to be a potential victim of these things. Big shout out to the family. All right, guys. Let's see here. I'm going back through the comments. Yes. Shout outs to the family. Big shout outs to Black Messiah on that super chat. LaJaya says they didn't want to respect the black authority his job gave him. Exactly. We've been through this. If you've been through this in the workplace, you know what I mean? You are maybe a supervisor, you're a boss, you're an expert in the field, you've been doing it a while. You try to, interact with your colleagues, give them your professional idea. they just blow you off. They act like you're stupid. They act like you don't know what you're talking about, or they try to school you on things that you have knowledge on. You know, they always think we need instruction, even if we are professionals, even if we're doctors, even if we are, you know, well educated. And so they didn't want to be told what to do by this man. So they begin to get aggressive with him, you know. And I mean, guys, look, at a certain point, we got to see that this is how our interactions are going to be with them and plan accordingly. Because you see, when I realized that racism and violence related to racism was going to be a potential part of the reality of me living in America, okay, this thing, it precedes me. You know, it proceeds and precedes me. There are people I don't know that have become casualties of this situation. And certainly once my, you know, after my lifetime, it will continue to go on in America. It's been going on for centuries. So when I realized that, you know, in this country, irrespective of who I am, my caliber, my contributions, the lifestyle I live, all these things, I could still potentially meet this stuff. I said, yeah, I don't want to be in their environments to be caught up with this. Because see, me, you know, that hypothetical example of me being a gangster, it's not that far-fetched if somebody, you know, provokes me, real talk. And so if I had a run-in with a Karen, I don't even know what's going to happen. Because chances are I might slap her. Because I don't play that stuff. I don't play disrespect and all of that stuff. I don't play it. So I came down to the conclusion that as long as I'm here, I can potentially be subject for this. And if I'm subject, it will definitely end nastily. Oh, it will, because if it meets me, I'm that kind of, you know, I'm that throw up the hat. You know what I mean? The security guard, much love to him, he was ready to fight even though he was on his own in the beginning. Okay. He knew that there was a group of them and he knew it was only him, but he was in the right. So he was like, no, I'm standing my ground. You know what I mean? He was ready to fight even though he was on his own. Fortunately, he had backups. But the point is that, you know, being in those environments, interacting with those people heightens your probabilities of being in crazy situations because they don't respect you. They don't want to listen to you. They're unreasonable. They're violent. You know what I mean? And they're aggressive. No, that is what their people are like. Our people are not like that unless, you know, except for the people that have been socialized in those settings. They are basically virtually just like white Americans. You know, they have just taken so much of the culture now, you know, that they exhibit and behave just like them. But we can see, you know, here on the continent, you know, the nature of Black people is a lot different in many ways because they haven't particularly been exposed to all of those Western concepts. Big shout outs. Mr. E, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Big shout outs. What's up, Mr. Darko? Thank you so much watching from Manchester in the UK. You guys can feel free to drop your locations if you want to and get your shout outs of the locations. What's up, Bella? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Dr. Sherry, you can go ahead and Google and answer your question. Please be on the topic. Hello. Dr. Sherry says nobody else is inclusive. We're the only people that struggle to choose our people consistently over other people. We're the only people that want to include everybody in, you know, and it's dangerous as well, guys, because these people don't have the same love and regard for us that we have for them. You know, some of you guys take people in the fold and you really think, well, you know, he and she, they really love me. No, they wouldn't do this and that. My friend, please put the magnifying glass on them and see, you will watch them do all the things that you swore up and down that they will never do to you. Okay, their loyalty is skin deep. And if you, um, get out of the parameters, you will find out. Okay. Which is why, look, dealing with our people is problematic sometimes. Yes, I understand. Some of you have had bad experiences, broken hearts and been scammed, been lied to. You just feel like you've been done so dirty by your people and all of that. Yeah. But what them other folks is going to do to you, I'm telling you, bruh, I'm scared to deal with it. I'm scared to deal with it. Personally, I'm going to say, um, there have been so many Black women, for instance, that have been killed by their non-Black husbands because of one thing or another. They get to the violent levels very quickly. When it comes to problem resolution, they can easily look at a situation and say, hey, I feel like you're going to be better dead to me than alive and just go for it, and I'm like, well, who's going to protect you against these people who feel like they're above the law? You know what I mean? Who's going to protect you from that? If this man is threatening you, telling me he's going to do this and that, what you going to do about it? Big shout outs. What's up? What's up? Superstar Bella says that brawl scared a lot of people. The Black conservative YouTubers or radio side. Absolutely. The people that want to turn the cheek all the time. And they have non-Black people on a pedestal, they would not condone this. They would have said, well, you should have just, you didn't have to fight them. You didn't have to jump them. You should just call the police, let them do, they will have any excuse in the book as to why we can't fight these people back, even when they aggress against you. The security guard didn't start the fight. But shoot, if you started, then if somebody started a fight with you, you got to fight back. It could be your life. He couldn't run away. He was on the pier. I mean, where was he going to go? Jump in the water to get away from them? Big shout outs. What's up? What's up? King Kenyatta says integration was a failed experiment. It's always been about unity for self-preservation. Absolutely. We're the only people that struggle with it. People want to know my perspective on Alabama. It served them right. It served them right. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. And guys, listen, if they already had the understanding that, okay, if I want to go up against one Black man, I want to try to jump this guy and take a cheap shot because I feel like he's outnumbered. If they had to worry about the retaliation from other Black men or other Black people, I'm telling you, it would order their steps. Yes, it would. Because they would know, damn, that would be a deterrent. Wouldn't that be a deterrent? Some of you guys, I don't want to put you out there or anything like that, but you may have been affiliated with gangs in the past or things like that. Okay. When you see another gang member, for instance, that like the opposite gang, and you think about doing something to him, you might think about, okay, if I do that, his boys is going to retaliate on us. That's basically the whole inception of gang violence anyway. Is like, okay, you did this to our gang member, you crossed this gang member, you did blah blah blah, now you're gonna have to deal with us, now we're gonna retaliate. If non-Black people had that same understanding about our people, that when they mess with one of us, they mess with all of us, they wouldn't even joke around. Because guess what? Them folks, them non-Black folks, even though they come over here and they do a little foolishness, in general settings, getting aggressive with African men, I don't see it that often because they're really scared that, okay, these folks would probably respond. I think they probably would. I think probably if a non-Black person started attacking an African person here, I think the men would respond and intervene. Because matter of fact, anybody attacking anybody, people would respond here in Africa. You know what I mean? It's not rocket science. That when people are attacking you, you got to fight up. You got to stand your ground. You got to fight back, rather. What's up, guys? Hello. Are you in the building? Hit the likes. Hit the likes. Superstar Bella said it all. Had nobody intervened on that man's behalf, they would have beat him to death. And I firmly believe that, Superstar Bella. I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that because the fact that they aggressed against him in their wrong, completely wrong, said a lot about, their mental state. They didn't care. They didn't care about being right and wrong. They broke it out right there in the middle, everywhere for everybody to see. Like everybody, it was stated there were so many black people around, and they still felt comfortable enough to do it because they thought nobody was going to get involved. That's what they thought. They're used to seeing black people behave like that. So they were like, they wasn't thinking, oh, shoot, black people from everywhere is about to get in this fight and we about to get beat up. Because the way a lot them black folks was fighting, they've been waiting for that moment their whole life. They have been waiting for that moment their whole life. Big shout outs. What's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you so much, Dr. Sherry, for the compliments. Make sure you guys go cop the EP. Hello, are you streaming the music? Hello, my music is very good. Trust me, I heard all about it in London. I heard all about it. Yes. So please, 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 please. Mind, body, and soul. What's up? What's up? What's up? Big shout outs, guys. Yamoja says, today 6 officers pled guilty to torturing 2 black men using a sex toy on them. Wow. And shooting one of them. We got to get out of the South and America in general. Exactly. So again, we have a case of being outnumbered 6-2. So they were torturing black men. Meanwhile, black men ain't torturing white men. Are black men going and stalking white men and going and picking them up and doing all kind of crazy stuff to them just because? Just because? No. No. You see, that's how aggressive they are. Some of you guys that like to run in these circles where you're the token, you're the only one. It's risky business, man. You think that they're your friends? Have any of you guys ever saw like those animal videos where people are like with exotic animals, like they got a pet lion in their backyard or a bear or, these kind of exotic snakes, and you're thinking to yourself, it's just a matter of time before that animal turns on you. And it's never no surprise when it's like, though, this bear, mauled, their owner. You play with fire, you get burned. How many of our people needs to get burned for us to understand, what, let's focus on our own people. We got a lot of things going on in our community. Let's turn our energy inward instead of outward. Nori says, I find it fitting that the boat that the 16-year-old swam from was the Harriet too. African Wahala says, my friend who's a supervisor at an oil servicing company in Yukon, which is close to Alaska, always gets that look whenever they walk in his office and see an African man. Oh, I'm sure they didn't expect to see that in Alaska. Thank you, Amal, for being here today. Big shout outs to the family. Yes, 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 yes. What's up, Fitzroy? Yeah, listen, I'm telling y'all, whenever you're dealing with a bully of any sort, they will continue until you checkmate, whatever that means. If it means a fight, if it means, checking them at work some kind of way, reprimanding them, suing them, that's when they get the message, because trying to talk to unreasonable people and reason with them it's futile. Okay, we should be at the point now where we understand what we need to do for our people. Being in these Western settings, begging for equality and vying for the right laws, it's a futile fight. Okay, in the grand scheme, we're outnumbered in regards to them holding positions of power, which means they're going to maintain their advantage at every hand. It's called systematic racism. That means even in some cases when they're wrong, you try to utilize the system to get back at them. The system will still favor them. Big shout outs. Nori says the hat in the air will forever be the call to action. Big shout outs. What's up? What's up? What's up? Vet KB is saying he is actually second command of the riverboat. Big shout outs. Lejeya says, if the black security guard was the perpetrator, he would have went to jail first and then asked. He might have been dead. I'm telling you, if he would have been the aggressor in that situation, they would have been like, they could have easily pulled that I fear for my life thing. I'm just happy that, you know, it appears that nobody was armed or nobody pulled out their gun and they just was able to have a straight street fight, because I mean, it would have been easy for them to shoot that man dead or shoot any of the black men and say, oh, they were attacking me, I fear for my life. Because then that's their favorite words, is fearing for their life, even though they're the racist, violent ones. They're always scared of black people. They're not really. That's just the lies that they say to justify why they use unnecessary force with our people. Big shout outs to Lejeya 7 with that point. And big shout outs to our one and only super chat tonight, Black Messiah. Yes. So that's my recap. Unity is going to be the answer, guys. And I'm not saying that trying to unite with our people, I mean, take it from me. Take it from me. It's not easy to get on board with our people at all. Our people are unreasonable. They're complex. They're difficult. They've gone through trauma. They, you know, our people are dysfunctional. Some of them, our people have gone through a lot of things, you know, valid, difficult situations that have made them the way they are and makes it difficult to interact with them. I know it's not easy in all pretenses. And some of you guys are dumb and gonna be like, not all of it. I know, guys, it goes without saying that it doesn't pertain to all. Hello. But the fact is, there is a sizable and reasonable amount of our people that are dealing with these things. It is complicated dealing with our people a lot of times. You know, their low self-esteem issues, you know, their inferiority complexes. All these things you've got to sort through when you're trying to interact with them. And it's difficult, but still, I mean, we've got to learn how to start choosing our people first. You know, there's not a person alive that can have a conversation with me for 5 minutes and Africa would not come up. You know, Africa, Black love, my people, it's so much a part of me that it comes out in everything I do. Every single thing I do. Big shout outs to Portia Official. She left me a comment on Instagram. You know, I was performing in my Kente cloth, obviously, during some of the festivals here in the UK. I'm back in Ghana now, and she said, Gina, you represent us in everything that you do. And that's how we have to get to. We got to get to that level, you know, where we understand it's just critical for us to pick our people. And it's not being selfish. And it's not being a bigot. It has nothing to do with these other people. It has everything to do with us. And self-preservation, as somebody mentioned in the chat. Big shout outs. So thank you, those of you that were here. We had a great crowd, over 30 of you, and a lot of you participating in the chat room. Much love to those of you that are on code. I mean, you see what I'm saying? You see how difficult it is to deal with our people, right? I have a platform of over 5,000. Anything that I would need from you guys, you know, on the rare occasions that I need anything from you guys, should be so easy to achieve. I have plenty of viewers, but it's always difficult. But, you know, if I was Beyonce, who don't need no more money, y'all keep pouring money on Beyonce. Hello. If I was Cardi B and I was making toxic music that's influencing your kids, yeah, you'll be bumping that music, streaming it. That's how it is with our people, you know. But it doesn't change the fact that the only way out is unity. That's why I'm here on the continent doing my share. You know, while some other diasporans have all the grievances and all the excuses about why they're not interested in Africa, why they're not going to come to Africa, why they don't want to do this and they don't want to do that. Unity is the only way forward. Okay. We have no grounds in the West. Um, you know, it's a futile fight. I mean, they got the game rigged over there. You know, they have the game rigged here too in many ways, but there's still some loopholes of how we can do things. And a real proponent of unity is going to find those things and utilize those things. You know, I would like to say that my social media, my music, all that stuff is a medium to do just that. Whenever you watch me or see the interaction, you see, you know, members of the diaspora from all over the world coming to watch my content, listen to my music, whatever. Because I'm a unifier. I'm a unifier. You know, naturally, I grew up in America. You know, obviously that's a big part of my life. That's the place where I've currently spent the majority of my life. So that definitely will influence a lot of my perspectives and things like that. But, you know, I've been able to live in the UK. Now I live on the continent. So I have a world view of issues related to the diaspora, you know, and addressing them in my own unique way. But that's unity. That's unity, and it's the only way forward. You know, so if you happen to see this episode and it is the playback, please make sure you leave your comments below so that I can see your perspective. But yeah, I mean, as far as the brawl, I was happy to see. I mean, I thought, damn, it took forever, you know, you know, for something like this to happen. I mean, but you know, it's the way forward. I mean, we're going to continue to be victimized until we put our foot down and stand up to it. And that's it. You know? So a big shout out to the African Superstar family, guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel, why? Why not? If you don't have the copy of Star, my latest EP, and you claim to be an African Superstar music lover, I mean, how can I quantify your love? Sorry. How can I quantify your love? A lot of people say, oh, African Superstar, I love you. You got, you know, a lot of y'all say it, but how can I quantify? You know, if you was kicking it with 10 people and one person produced the wedding ring, you would have to quantify that that person loved you more than everybody else based on the tangible act. And you see, that's another thing. We are very, very invested in these third parties that don't manifest anything in our lives. We put effort and time and energy into these third parties, always thinking the government's going to do the right thing, or religion is the answer, or being patient, you know. And at the end of the day, we need to cut past that middleman and just go straight to implementation. Okay, the things that you're hoping and wishing for and praying for and all of that, you know, is delaying you getting to the end result. So that is tonight's live stream. Again, big shout out to the family, to all of you guys that were here tonight. Much love to you guys. Yes, yes, yes. Special shout outs to the African Superstar music lovers. I appreciate you guys. As for the current events with the music, I didn't mention that in the beginning. I do have a show here in Accra. I'll be performing at the Youth Awards here on the 19th of August. So guys, if you're here in Accra and you want to see me on my world tour, that's the next show that I currently have planned. We are still in a nomination for the third award, which is going to be in Paris, and that's going to be in September. So that is Best Afro Pop of the Year. Make sure you guys send your votes in for that. And you can also, if you're in the vicinity, please make sure that you come to the program. You can come to Paris. That event is on September 16th, and it is open to the public. So you guys can come and see me and some of the other diasporan musicians. You're more than welcome to, you know, participate in those things for the music lovers. Please make sure you get us on the streams. Hello. Streams have been going up. I think obviously the world tour is to help with that, because new people have been connecting with me on tour, which is very excellent. That was definitely the goal of the tour. So we did achieve that. So much love, guys. Until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.